Buenos días. ¿Cómo tú te llamas? Me llamo Pablo. ¿Cómo tú te llamas? Me llamo Daniela. Mucho gusto. Igualmente. ¿Cómo estás? Tú. Bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Muy bien, gracias. Adiós. Hasta luego.
Hello and welcome to today's lesson in Spanish. So, we just listened to the text in Spanish that we have on screen. And this text is about, Daniela and Pablo asking for their names, getting introduced, and also asking for how they are doing, and then saying goodbye. So, it's basically the first lesson that you need when you get to know people and you want to ask them for their names and how they're doing. So this is what you're learning in this lesson. So let's go through the text and take a look at what these words and expressions mean so you can understand them better and know how the sentences work for you to be able to acquire new vocabulary and also be able to practice later on by yourselves. All right, let's take a look at the first sentence. It's Daniela saying Buenos días, ¿cómo tú te llamas? So, this expression here, Buenos días, means, literally, it means good day. So, bueno or buenos, the S here indicates that it's a plural form, so it's more than one. So basically in Spanish we say good days. You see the S here at the end. The S indicates a plural form that you have more than one. So one day is día. El día is one day. I can write that down here maybe. El día means the day, and los días means the days. See, so you have the article here, el means the, it's a masculine article. So this is an exception, the first word being an exception and interesting. So even though this word ends in an A, it is still masculine. Normally in Spanish, when a word ends in an A, it's feminine, and if it ends in an O, it's masculine. But there are exceptions, of course, and this is an exception. So día is el. Okay, it's masculine in Spanish. And the plural form of el is los. So if it's more than one, it's los días. Yeah, maybe I can give you an example. You know the city Los Angeles, and this is of course Spanish, and this means literally the angels. El ángel is one angel, and ángeles, because you have an L here and an S, you put an E in between. That's something you can forget again, just for you to know. This comes later on. But the angels, Los Angeles. So maybe with this you can remember that los is the article for the when it's plural. Plural and masculine. Ángel also is a masculine word. So it's el ángel. El ángel. Los Ángeles. The angel and the angels. All right, so going back to the first sentence. So this is more than one day. It means days. And bueno normally means good if it's one word, or masculine one word. And since it is more than one day, it is buenos. Okay, so this literally means good days, and it means basically good morning. And then Daniela asks, ¿Cómo te llamas? Or ¿Cómo tú te llamas? So, ¿cómo means how. The tú is means you. It's the personal pronoun you. And in Spanish, you don't need the personal pronoun. You can use it, but you don't have to, because in Spanish, the ending here at the end of the verb indicates which form it is. So the you is already included in the as at the end of llamas. And te llamas literally means, te means yourself, and llamas means call. And the ending here indicates that it's the you form. It's the second person singular form of you, so it's tú. So this means the whole verb form here means you call. So this is why you don't need to repeat the tú, but you can if you want to. If you want to emphasize that you is meant, then you can, of course, use it, but it's not necessary. You don't have to use the tú. And in normal conversation, when you know who is being referred to, you don't really use the tú. Maybe if you want to emphasize, like if you want to ask, so what about you? What's your name? Then you would say, ¿Y tú? ¿Cómo tú te llamas? Then you would use it. But normally, when you ask somebody, have a normal conversation, then you just say ¿Cómo te llamas? And that's it, basically. Okay, so this is the first sentence, and then Paul, answers with Me llamo Pablo. So notice we asked ¿Cómo te llamas? Te is yourself, and llamas, the ending here, indicates the you form. And now the response must be I call myself. Okay, so me or me means me or myself, and llamo with the O ending here means I call. So the O form indicates that this the verb llamar, which is the infinitive form, the basic form, is conjugated in the I form. So this literally means I call myself Pablo or Paul. And yeah, and then he asks Daniela back. Yeah, so maybe you can think for yourselves, because we just had it. This is just an exercise for you now. So what does ¿Cómo te llamas mean? We can yeah, go through the words again. So ¿Cómo was how. Tú is the personal pronoun of you. And te llamas, te, it was yourself. And llamas was the conjugated form of llamar. And it means you call. So llamas the ending as indicates that it's the verb call in the you form. This is why you can omit the to. And Daniela answers back with Me llamo Daniela. And we already know that Me llamo Daniela means I call myself Daniela. So the ending here, llamo, indicates that it's the conjugated form of call in the first person singular in the I form. So maybe to give you a quick outlook, so the verb means llamar, se, and it means to call oneself. And the first person singular means, in Spanish, you say yo means I. You don't need it, so this is why I put it in parentheses. Me llamo. And it means I myself call. And I put the I in front here because this indicates that it's already conjugated in the I form. And the second person plural form that we just learned, the second person singular form that we've just learned is tú te llamas. And this means you, which you can omit, yourself, and llamas, the ending here, the as ending, indicates that the verb to call is conjugated in the you form. So this means I call myself and you call yourself. And as you can see, we have different endings depending on which person we're referring to. So you can imagine that he or she also has a different form. We'll do this later on. And we and they also have different forms. So, and you can see using the ending, the verb ending here, that which form is addressed. So this is why you can omit the personal pronouns. Okay, and then Pablo says mucho gusto. Mucho means much, and gusto means pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet you, basically. Nice to meet you. But in Spanish, we say mucho gusto. And Daniela answers with igualmente. And igualmente literally means equally. Igual means equal. And the end form mente is the same as the ly form in English. And the ly, as you may know in English, indicates an adverb. So this is an adverb. Something you may need later on. But for now, just remember that the mente form is the ly form in English. And in English, we wouldn't say equally in this case, we would say likewise, or same here, or so am I. Nice to meet you, yes, same here, me too, likewise, whatever. In Spanish, you say igualmente. Okay, and then Pablo asks, ¿Cómo estás? Or ¿Cómo estás tú? So what does this mean? Well, ¿Cómo? We've seen ¿Cómo already, and ¿Cómo is how. Estás means literally you are. And, well, actually it's I will put it this way because the ending here, as you know, the AS ending indicates the U form. As we saw, we go back here, we go back to llamarse. Tú te llamas. You see the AS, and this is what's the second person singular, the you form. So when you address somebody, you use the AS form, at least for these verbs that we have here. So estar is also a verb ending in AR, so you also have the AS form at the end, indicating that you're talking to the other person, referring to them with you. And we have the tú form here, which indicates the pronoun, and that you can omit. Like I said, you can leave out the tú because the AS form already indicates that you're talking to the other person, referring to them as you. But if you wanted to, you could grammatically use it. And sometimes it is used in certain situations. For example, when you want to emphasize that you're referring to a specific person. So, ¿cómo estás? Is how you are. So, how are you, basically? And Daniela says, bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Bien means, literally, it means well. It's the adverb form of bueno, or bueno. Bien is well. Gracias is thank you. ¿Y tú? Means and you. And of course, in this case, since we have no verb here, you need to use the tú because otherwise you wouldn't know who is being addressed. So when you have no verb and just an interjection, then you need the tú form. You need to use it in this case. So again, bien means well, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm well. Gracias is thank you. Y means and tú means you. And then Pablo responds with muy bien, gracias. So what does this mean? Well, we know bien already. Bien was well, and gracias was thank you. So the only thing that is new is the muy. Muy bien. And muy means, maybe you can guess it, it's very. So, very well. Thank you. Okay, and then we have Daniela saying adios. And adios means goodbye. And another form that Pablo uses is hasta luego. Hasta luego means literally until later. And in English we would say see you later. But literally it means until. Hasta means until, and luego means later. This is the way you would use or say this phrase, see you later. Okay, so this is it for today. If you have any questions or comments, drop us an email using info@online-university.education. That's info@online-university.education. Drop us a question if you have a question regarding this topic or comments. And if it's a question that may serve other people learning Spanish, then of course we will make a video out of it, out of the response, and so that other people are also helped and can profit from our response. And I'll see you later. Have fun with this lesson. Repeat it at least 10 times. Practice it with your friends and family. And I wish you all the best. Hasta luego and adios. you.